Hello, and welcome back to another episode of the Marcus Burdyshow. The guest on today's episode is Cole Johnson. And if you don't know who Cole Johnson is, then I want you to look him up on social media, John Solo 21. And you need to check out their company, Pulp Socks. That's P-U-L-P Socks at pulpsocks.com. Because every pair of Pulp Socks purchased goes to help a kid in need. Also, check out their Instagram. It's super, super cool. It's an amazing company, amazing mission, driven by amazing people, and it would be so kind of you to check them out. Without further ado, welcome to the podcast.
I'd say, the one thing, I'm kind of, I get embarrassed to say these things because, everybody always gives the podcast guy the hard time. It's like, oh, yeah, I'm super into podcasts. And when I was even telling a couple people, you guys had this conversation, I think it was you and Corey, where people saying that's what you're into.
What's that podcast about?
What I'm trying to say is that this is my favorite thing to type of media to consume is podcast. So to get to be a part of this, for me, I've wanted to do one of these for so long. And the fact that you were like, hey man, you want to do this? Right now, this is the most exciting thing for me because I just have wanted to do one for so long, and I've got a notebook full of ideas. Oh yeah, I could talk about that, But you just never really know. It's not so much how to do something because I can figure out how to do something, but the nervousness of gosh, am I gonna make an ass out of myself by doing this? You know what I'm saying? But it's something that I don't put out there a lot is this kind of stuff. I absolutely love this kind of stuff. This is the coolest type of thing for me to get to sit down and just shoot the shit for a little bit, and if it wasn't for this, what are the odds of us bumping into each other? Not very high, So getting to do this for me is I was just super stoked about this, and to get to listen to all your stuff. And it, what I think is interesting is since you've been doing this, when you listen to somebody that talk on a podcast, it becomes way more real, because you're oh, I know that guy. And listening to you talk to Alex, I'm oh, these are real people that I've interacted with before. Because when you listen to famous people, you're oh, those really aren't real people, you're not connected to them.
Right.
So for me lately, this has been something I've been super into. Yeah, I've been just super fired up about this ever since I saw that you were doing it. And I'm just super stoked for you,
If you're ever open to it, having a group chat with Alex Gallardo or even meeting the other guy, Corey, over this sometime, would be down for sure.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, no, that'd be super cool. Super cool. But yeah, man, damn, this is so cool to me. It's super cool for me.
Well, you said you had ideas too. Well, if you ever open to ideas and you want to just spit out and talk about, we could look like idiots together, man.
I'm probably pretty good right now.
I hear what you're saying, and like you said, we've talked about it on the podcast before, because the podcast guy was always the guy who gets looked at funny or something like that. But you're right. A lot of it's passive listening. Like you said, you work in a warehouse. You used to work in a warehouse. Everybody's listening to podcasts. I'm doing work in construction as an electrician, and I have my podcast in. It's totally a thing. And it's just join the, get on the train or get left behind kind of thing. And that's how I feel about it. But I definitely am looking forward to doing more episodes with more people and things of that nature. And like I said, if we get a group of people on here, that'd be even cooler to me. I think it's pretty amazing what we're doing based on the COVID times, because we're so used to just doing everything in person, and we could have this massive recording in person, but we can't now. Not right now.
Dude, what a crazy time too,
Never
What
ever would have thought
crazy stuff.
COVID would be a factor, a risk, and a threat in my life. Ever.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, no, I was like, oh, no shot. We got. What are we doing? You telling me that we're gonna be completely shut down for about 2-3 months? What? What are we talking about here? But it's pretty cool to live through. Like kind of scary, but to be like, oh yeah, this is real. Like we're in this, man. So.
That's how I feel about it too. It's just like what a crazy experience to be living through, man. Something I will never forget because I think I've just been fortunate enough to have kind of no like super like crazy like thing like this that I can remember in my life. Like even in 2008 when the recession hit, I don't even remember that. And like
Yeah.
the SARS or whatever, all these other crazy I don't even remember any of them. I just feel like I'm super lucky enough to not have those sort of health issues. But like now it's just like so serious to me that I can actually see it and remember it and feel it. And it's affecting so many more people and yeah, it's real. It's so real. Definitely a sobering experience for sure.
Yeah, for sure. It's crazy how fast things can change, and to realize how much you are in control of you, but not in control of everything that can happen, because it's almost like the scene is set around you at some point, because things aren't open, other things are. It's a weird deal, but I think we're doing pretty good, we by we I mean everybody that I know. We're doing our best.
Yeah, I know, right? That's all you can do, man. Just do your best. Hopefully, just stay healthy out there and just try and stay happy. I mean, I think the hardest part right now is staying happy because, I want to go out. I miss going to the bars and having a drink. I miss going to the gym. Thankfully those have slowly opened in my area, but it was a full 5 weeks of like trying to figure out what the F to do because my construction site got shut down, and so we don't have any work for you and it ended up being like over 5-6 weeks. I'm like, what? And I was talking to my fiance. She's like, dude, Marcus, you're unemployed. Like you're getting paid to not do anything. And I'm just like, okay, well, it's easier said than done because I'm going nuts in here doing nothing. So I'm bouncing off the walls trying to do crap, and that's what the hardest part for me was. I don't know about you. What was it like for you, man? When January at the start of it, how did it really affect you? Really, anything?
As far as work-wise goes, I started a new job in January. I was doing that warehouse job up until the end of December of 2019. Then this year I got the new HR gig. So I was doing that, and then COVID hits me 3 months into this job. Well, the one department that you need is HR because it was filing unemployment, and you gotta verify everybody's, this person says they work here, do they actually work here? All that kind of stuff, and running payroll and all that kind of stuff. So for me, really, it's gotten me way busier at work, but all of the fun stuff that Whitney and I are used to doing outside of this, we love to go to the movies. Not being able to go to a movie every week or two has been killing us. And what a small thing, right? What a small thing to be oh, I want to go to the movies, and be pissed about it. But that and I don't know, just not being able to do things that you normally would have been able to do. The amount of times I've gone to the grocery store and had to drive back home because I forgot a mask is I myself. Hey man, that's what I got to do to go in. So just this small stuff like that, but really not a whole lot has changed, at least for me.
I can't tell you how many times I've lost my mask.
It sucks. It's the absolute worst.
And I still remember at the beginning of COVID, it was all about the normal N95 surgical masks, and then now it's starting to turn into a fashion statement for the mask.
Yeah,
And it's just like,
it is.
if you got the N95, man, you're out of style. Like, you better get on that custom mask game so you don't look like a noob.
Yeah, you're 3 months behind. You got that N95. Get out of here.
Oh, shoot.
Oh, dude.
That's so true, though.
Good.
So true.
Yeah, for sure.
And then, like, Pac-12 closing down and everything, but then Big Ten still playing, and SEC and all that, and then, of course, NFL is still playing, but no fans and everything. Baseball still going. Just pray for those M's this year. Yeah.
That's true, man. That's real true.
It's good stuff that it's on TV and online and everything. I still miss the real life experience. I still miss it.
No doubt. No doubt.
It's a thing.
It's just weird that that like you can't do a lot of things in person. You know, it's just super weird. And I think it's crazy to think about like the working world, and to be like, did we just prove that we don't actually have to go into a building to do this? Like, is that what we're proving right now? Like, who knew? You know, like it's just crazy.
Dude, I'm going into HR as my fallback. If this electrician thing ain't gonna work, because shoot, like you said, man, you always need HR, and you're damn right about that, man. And if it proves to you that you can work from home, that'd be kind of dope. That'd be kind of dope, right?
Yeah.
Not too shabby.
It's pretty funny when I've gone and like met some of the people that I got to work with, and they're like, "You're the guy, giving us insurance and stuff, and telling us like that we can't talk about certain things. Like, you're the guy." It's pretty funny.
I know, pretty beautiful, aren't I?
That's exactly what I tell them. Yeah. We got Pup back here.
Oh yeah, that's my little dog. He's begging for me to let him out. So I'm gonna do that soon, but that's until he barks. So I think I still got a minute left. Well, dude, hey, do you have a couple pets at your place?
No, we do not. Whitney and I have been trying to get a dog for a while, but we want to like adopt a dog.
Good for you.
We haven't found one that we're super set on yet, but man, we're pulling for one. If we could come home and there'd be a golden retriever there, that'd be pretty sweet. You know,
that's the dream.
Pretty stoked.
Living the dream right there.
Yeah. No, that'd be sweet. What else you been doing, man? Yeah, it sounds like you've been streaming some games too, huh?
Yeah, so I've been playing a bunch of Xbox, basically Rocket League mainly, and a little bit of World of Warcraft because I'm just nerding out like that. But I started that. I started a fundraiser. It's like the timeline is a 5-year fundraiser. I call it a lifetime fundraiser because why like stop fundraising something? You know, why fundraise for something for a day? Yeah, exactly. Do it for life. It's called the Extra Life. It benefits Seattle Children's because it's kind of like you. It's just like keep the kids out of the hospital, pay it forward to them. Nobody wants to freaking be in there, and if anything, it shouldn't be kids. And I have like a little niece now, and so I'm like anything to keep those kind of people out of there. That's like near and dear to my heart for sure. But I definitely like my next one wants to be something related to animals. I forgot the name of it, but something like that. But it's all just kind of I'm testing the waters out and stuff, and kind of get my feet wet just to figure out how to get the message out there and basically streamline what I do every day. So I've always gamed. Okay. I've always talked my ass off. I've always, I like talk for a living, talk to people. Like I have so much fun in real life, and like I see all these people that I aspire to look up to, doing it on my social media platforms. I can do the same. So I'm just like trying to figure out how to like streamline that in a way to make it all like flow. So it's just freaking matter of time.
Dude, that's so awesome, man. That one thing that you were talking about in some of your other stuff is like what what are people like passionate about? And I love that idea, and I love the idea that you're doing a whole bunch of different things to see kind of what sticks and like which one not so much sticks with everybody else, but which one you like to do.
Exactly.
And I think that's something that I've been looking for ever since I finished like school and you're done playing sports, which you've done since you're a little kid, right? You're just trying to find what's that next thing that gets me excited, really. And the point that you made about looking at people that you look up to on, social media or whatever it is, and being like, well, shit, this guy is doing this. I got something to say too, and to be like, I think I could figure this out. I just have to stay on it and give it my best go.
Yeah.
I really align with that. I think that is that shit fires me up. I think that is so cool.
You're so right. And the hard, actually, the challenge for me in that situation is finding more people to have this fire conversation with.
Mm-hmm.
And you're obviously one of them. But I'm telling you, it's something that I wish happened overnight, but it doesn't. And patience is one thing that I have a hard time with, and I'm slowly learning it and building that muscle up, so to say. This is part of it, man. This is part of it. This is why I really enjoy these experiences and doing things like this. It's worth it to me. Absolutely worth it.
For sure. And, when you get to talk through something like this, like just talking about the act of making something or doing your best to try to figure something out, you have certain realizations that come to you like, oh, shit, this is exactly how I'm thinking about this, but it was stuck in there.
We're getting there. This shit happens. There we go. We're back.
No,
But yeah, like you said, you bring it out of yourself, and it's almost like a manifestation thing. Is that where you're kind of going?
yeah, just like you. I don't really know how else to put it. Yeah, once you figure out when you're talking through something like this, to where like you and I are talking right now we're a couple of young dudes just trying to figure out what the hell we want to do, right? Or like we're trying to make things work. And sometimes the piece that helps you get there, not pushes you there, but it's like lets you know that you're on the right track. Sometimes it comes out of your mouth and you didn't even know that you thought that. Like, and by talking it through, you can work through some of the kinks to help figure out what you're doing, And I see a lot of that with what you're doing.
Oh, dude, that's fire. What you just said. No, dude, you're so right about that. You're spot on. I couldn't agree more with you.
Yeah, yeah. It's such a cool thing. It is really such a cool thing. I wish it was easier, It was way easier. But I heard this thing. Theo Vaughn? He's a comedian. He's a goofball.
I live under a rock, so sorry.
Yeah, no, don't worry about it. He is making this comparison to if life was like a game of Mario and you wanted it to be easy, like you wouldn't have any of the fucking turtles in the way and you wouldn't have to jump over lava. You would just run to the end. And he's like, you'd put the controller down after the first episode. I was like, that is so funny, but it's so true. Because all of the stuff that makes it hard is like the cool part about it, even though in the minute it sucks,
Why is that so true? Oh my gosh, I need to watch this guy.
Yeah.
Theo Vaughn.
Yeah.
Wow.
He's good.
No, that's so true.
I know. It's crazy. You got anybody else like of your buddies that you're like, gosh dang, I really want to get this guy on here?
Dude, any ideas? I'm brain farting right now.
Who would be a cool one to get? I'm glad that you got Alex Galgano. I know this doesn't answer the question, but like to kind of deflect a little bit. Alex, when I follow him on like all social media, and
Yeah.
when he's posting stuff, I'm like, what is this guy up to, man? Like he's always doing different weird stuff, like crazy stuff, and I'm like, what is he up to? And when you had him on, I was like, oh, okay, cool. Like it's cool to get somebody else talking to him to see what's like what he's up to and what he's doing. Like I had no idea he was going to play ball again. I had no idea. Like how cool is that? I can learn that from listening to you guys just chat it up. It's super cool.
Wait till he hears this, man. He's gonna think this is awesome.
He's gonna die.
He's gonna be like, dude, we're all gonna get together. Yeah, it was his idea. He wanted me to like try to reconnect with a lot of the old baseball buddies. I think that's a good start. And I bet you I could do more than just you guys. I think everybody's. Did you hear that? Yeah, dude. For sure, the baseball buddies for sure.
Yeah, that's cool, man.
And yeah, dude, show your fiance this, and if she's ever interested, you two, both of you should be on there. I think it'd be fun to have a group little podcast session.
Yeah, we gotta have a team sesh. That'd be sweet.
Dude, team sessions, I think they're more than merrier. No joke. The more people, it makes it funner, in my opinion.
Yeah, for sure. Because then it's like you can have two people really not saying a whole bunch, but you got somebody else who comes in and like got a whole ton to say. You know, and you're like, oh, okay, here we go. We're just gonna let this guy run. You know.
Totally, it adds that dynamic in there. Yep, for sure.
And especially like if two of your people kind of agree, and then you got one guy who's like, nah, you two are full of shit. Like, let me tell you what I got to say. You know, I love that. Dude,
that's podcast material right there, right? Mm-hmm. That's like the stuff that I love listening to as well.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
No, for sure. For sure. That's awesome.
Well, good for you, man. I'm so happy to see that you have a big smile on your face. You have a happy life, happy wife, and this is just the beginning of like our chapter in our lives, because I mean, we're quarter of a way through our life, you know, so we've got so much time to go, and keeping your head up is important, man. And it's really awesome to see guys like you, guys who like just know from back in the day, still got their head up, and man, it says a lot about the character. I will tell you that. So, you still got my respect, Kojo. You still got my respect.
As do you, Mark Burdyshow. A little throwback action there. You know? Right. Dang, that's awesome. Shit, man. Who'd have thought? Who'd freaking thought? But.
Well, Kojo, I'm gonna let this dog out. He's driving me nuts.
Yeah.
But guess what, dude? I'm gonna get this video out to you. We're going to get you on the podcast again. And seriously, dude, thanks so much for being on this. This is so fun for me. And I hope it was for you. And anybody who is going to watch it, I hope they enjoy us having our conversation too. So,
as do I. No, thank you for this. Whenever you need a guy, just give me a shout. We'll fix it up. So.
Podmasters, baby.
That's right.
Let's go, dude. Give me some.
All right. Catch you later, Marcus. Have a good one, man.
Adios, amigo.
All right. See ya.
All right. The episode's over. Please pay it forward. If you really liked it, tell somebody about it. Hit subscribe on YouTube. Please, anything will help. I love you guys. Thank you so much for watching. I hope you enjoyed it. Please watch the previous ones. I'm going to be rolling these out every week. I'm trying to get better. Any suggestions, feedback, let me know. I'm all ears. Thanks for watching again.